Hey there, and in today's video we're going to be discussing everything that you need to get a business fully compliant here in Zambia. In short, all the documents that you need to have a business that is fully registered here in Zambia. And I know if you're watching this, you probably just need to know either beforehand what's needed to have a business registered, or if you've registered a business before, or maybe if you're living in a diaspora, what is also needed in order for you to have a fully registered business here in Zambia. Don't worry, if you watch this video to the end, I'll have you covered. You know all this information here fully. My name is Mbili Mwanza, and in the last 10 years I've spent my time managing and running businesses, and I'm just here to share everything that I've learned along the way to shortcut your process. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, it shouldn't come to anybody's surprise that the first thing that you need is a PACRA registration. PACRA is a Patents and Company Registration Agency, and it's responsible for registering businesses here in Zambia. Without it, your business is not legal. At PACRA, you're looking for two documents: the Certificate of Incorporation and the Certificate of Share Capital. To get the Certificate of Incorporation, you can either apply online using the PACRA portal, or you can do a walk-in application. Walk-in applications are now being advised against, so the PACRA portal is more than enough for you. Just go to portal.pacra.org, create an account there, and you can fully register, right? But of course, you need to fill in the Form 3, and in there, make sure that you have 2 directors. Without 2 directors, a business can't fully be registered here in Zambia. We're talking about a limited company. So for those 2 directors, you need their NRC, proof of residence, and all those sorts of things, right? I talked about all this in another video. For those abroad, you need the power of attorney. Of course, you need a certified copy of your passport and all those proof of residence and everything, but you need the other director to be a full resident of here in Zambia, and you need a 50-50 share of the capital. For locals, the capital can be shared in any order. The main director can even have 95% of the shares, then the other director can have 5%. The nominal capital recently got increased from 15,000 all the way up to 20,000, so you need to share 20,000. But for those of you with more than enough capital, you don't have to worry about all that. You can always set the price for your shares and share them among the full capital that you have. So on the same topic, for those of you that have already registered but you didn't register your own business, and you registered it probably maybe last year or 2 years ago, you probably need to revisit your account. Log in there, have the nominal shares fully corrected, because when it comes to submitting those returns, and those returns only cost 300 kwacha, you'll be penalized. So make sure you have all that corrected. Now, assuming everything goes well with PACRA, you are fully registered, you have the Certificate of Incorporation and the Certificate of Share Capital, ZRA will be automatically registered. They will send the TPIN and the login credentials to the number that you will register at the PACRA office. So if a registration agent is charging you for registering for ZRA, you're getting scammed. It doesn't end at just getting a TPIN and login credentials. You need to set up your tax account. Setting up your tax account depends on your nature of business. Different types of businesses will be registered for different type of tax depending on what they do. But for a general type of business, we're looking at 2 categories of tax. We're looking at the turnover tax and the income tax. What differentiates these two is the annual turnover. Your annual turnover can either be above 800 or below 800. If it's below 800, you are eligible for turnover tax. If it's above 800, you are under income tax. Now here in Zambia, if you're going to be doing B2B, of course this is what we do here. We're looking to build big businesses, right? So you're going to be trading with those big businesses. Now, big businesses here in Zambia don't trade with anyone who's not registered under VAT. But for those under turnover tax, unfortunately you have to apply for what is called voluntary VAT. Once your account registered, you're ready to go. If you're coming in with employees, you'll be also under payee, and to be fully compliant, you need to be submitting returns each and every month. For payee, the deadlines each and every month is on the 10th. Turnover tax, that's on the 14th, and VAT, that's on the 16th. So make sure that you're on top of all these deadlines. If you miss any of these deadlines, you are penalized. We have some clients that we're managing taxes for, so if you're interested, you can also be part of that team. Just shoot me a message on WhatsApp. So there are many other forms of tax depending on what your business does, but I'm not going to discuss all those here. Now, if you're fully compliant with tax and PACRA is fully sorted, you can trade. Your business is fully functional. But like we talked about, we're going after B2B, other businesses, right? There's some certain things that you can't miss if you're going to be trading with other businesses. For example, the workers' compensation. If you're going to be having workers that are going to be moving things, fully physical work, right? General workers and all that, you're going to need workers' compensation. If you don't have workers' compensation, unfortunately for you, other businesses won't be able to trade with you. Same goes with NAPSA. If you don't have NAPSA, there are certain companies that are not going to trade with you. Of course, you need to be registered for NAPSA. And to even keep top talent, you need NAPSA. You need a good retirement package. For top talent, NAPSA alone is not enough. You can also add something called Saturnia, making that retirement package a little bit more attractive, right? And also helping our society at the end of the day, because that's what we're doing. We're not just here to enrich ourselves, we're also here to help our businesses to be able to support the families out there in society. So you need to be compliant with NAPSA as well. To be fully compliant with NAPSA, of course, you and your employee need to both contribute 5% of their gross pay each and every month. Then, for those of you in supply, you also need ZPPA. You need a ZPPA certificate. Certain companies are not going to be able to do business with you without a ZPPA certificate. But also on the ZPPA platform, that's where the Zambian government posts their tenders. If you're able to just win one tender even in a year, your business is sorted. Your cash flow is cool all year round. So you need ZPPA. Now the other one is just NHIMA. It's optional, but I'm passionate about NHIMA because it helps our society. It does not only help out our employees, but also helps out their families as well. So this is one of those acts as an elite entrepreneur you need to get into. We're here to support society, not just to enrich ourselves like I talked about. So NHIMA is one of those things that I need you to be fully on board with. So let's run them down again. We're talking about PACRA. On here, 2 documents: certificate of incorporation, certificate of share capital. ZRA is going to be automatically set up, but you also need to set up your tax account depending on your nature of business. With just these 2, you can be able to freely trade here in Zambia. But if you're going to be doing bigger business, you need workers' compensation, you need NAPSA, you need ZPPA, and optionally you need NHIMA. But I talked about NHIMA is not optional here because it helps our society. So we're talking about navigating regulation here in Zambia. Some basics that you need to know about, especially setting up business here in Zambia, is a little bit about the labor laws. Now here, the labor laws are quite many, but I'm not going to discuss everything. I just need you to know one very important thing: the disciplinary code. Now the disciplinary code can be written down by an HR practitioner. They can help you set this up. Once they've written it up, or you can use AI, right? Now we're in the advanced age, you can use AI to write all that up. Then an HR professional can verify all that and probably modify it a bit, looking at the context that we have here in Zambia, right? The disciplinary code, once it has been laid out, it needs to be verified and fully stamped by the labor office. If you have a disciplinary code that is not verified by the labor office, unfortunately for you, whatever misconduct that your employees does, including theft, they can't be held liable for it, and you can't fire them for it. They can even sue you for that, and they'll run you out of your pockets. So be careful, have this set up before even bringing people, so you can be able to charge them legally and you can be able to fire them legally easily. Of course, set up an exit package, gratuity, you know, all that. In case an employee leaves, have gratuity. This is non-negotiable. You need to have gratuity. You need to have a proper exit package set up for everybody. So once you have all this in place, then your business is fully compliant right here in Zambia. Now, for any other interesting offers, check out the description. But after you've registered a full company here in Zambia, you might probably need a business account, right? For the documents that you need to open a business account, watch this next video.